witchcraft, and soup. Hey guys, I'm Kate. Welcome back to my channel, and I've been thinking a lot recently about blurbs on the back of a book. What, besides the cover and potentially the title, entices a reader to actually buy a book? Your book, a friend's book, a book in the store, a book online, any book, right? What makes a good blurb? I realized it's kind of an art in itself, and so I thought, why not just destroy that art by making Mad Libs out of book blurbs. Popular book blurbs, such as, I was thinking specifically about Harry Potter. So I'm gonna pull out the first book in this series and the last book, and of course some other books like Fahrenheit 451, a book that I'm currently reading, and of course one of my favorite books of all time, The Princess Bride by William Goldman. And here's what I'm thinking. Oh, too far. Okay. I am going to create the Mad Lib, but I'm gonna have some help filling them in, and no one's really gonna know what I'm doing, and that makes it even better. Okay, let's get started. So step one is going to be to type up the blurbs on the back of the book. This is interesting to me because the blurbs change based off of what copies you have, so an interesting point to begin with. For example, my fancy copy of the 7th Harry Potter book, the one that turns into a castle on the side, it's so cool. Anyways, just says we now present the 7th and final installment in the epic tale of Harry Potter. Okay, look, I know they already have their market and everything if you get to the 7th book and also it's Harry Potter, but like, this book didn't even try. Come on. So for the 7th book, and the copy of Fahrenheit 451 that I have from the library doesn't have anything. There's nothing in the back, nor is there anything in the front. We're gonna refer back to Goodreads. Yay. I'm gonna do a new Google Doc and just title it Mad Lib Blurb Experiment. Let's get to typing. Now that I have all 4 of my stories, I'm gonna go through and bold the words, verbs, adjectives, names, numbers, anything that I think would be the most funny if substituted in with something else. All right, I have 11 different things to fill in from each of these books. So there are 4 different categories. I'm going to, 1, turn to Instagram stories and see if people who are following me over there will help supply me with some options. I'm going to bother my family because what's the point of family if I can't bother them? I'm also going to get some of my specific authortube friends that I know of and ask them for suggestions. And then finally, I think I'm going to bother my patrons over at Patreon and see if I can't get some suggestions from there. So 4 different categories. Let's just see how it goes. I'm really excited because though I don't think this is actually going to make me any better at blurbs, it's a nice distraction. Yeah. All right, so I have separated this off into sections. There's actually several things I need to ask about, like nouns, adjectives, plural nouns, numbers, animals, verbs ending in ing, and concepts. I wasn't entirely sure what to classify destiny as. I think it might be one of those where I need to give people a little bit of guidance as I post to Instagram, but here we go. We have the thing that we're ready to post so that people are not overly confused. Oh, maybe I should also explain that it's Mad Lib themed, but okay, all right, let's do this. It's the next day and I got so many suggestions from Instagram, so I think my plan's just going to be to scroll at random and then stop and then choose because look at this. For the first option, plural noun, you can see just how many responses I got for this question, which is incredible. So, oh, it's still going. My goodness, okay. If I just scroll and stop. Titans. And just like that, we have all of our selections. Thanks, everyone! Without further ado, I present to you Mad Lib's Sorcerer's Stone. Till now, there's been no justice for Harry Potter. He lives with the moldy Dursleys and their scrumptious son Dudley. Harry's room is a tiny closet beneath the Titans and he hasn't had a birthday party in 127 years. But then a mysterious letter arrives by chameleon messenger. A letter with an invitation to an incredible place called Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Soup. And there he finds not only friends, recording sports on Goldfish, and magic in everything from classes to meals, but a snotty reality that's been waiting for him if Harry can survive the encounter. Beautiful. We've created a masterpiece, clearly, that will be read for years to come. I like the idea of a chameleon messenger, to be honest. I think that would be really cool. A fantasy version of that where you could like hide the message on the chameleon, like if it could change colors with it, and then it's, I don't know. Anyways, I think that would be so cool actually. I don't think Harry Potter would attend a school that has witchcraft and soup, but I love soup and witchcraft. I would be down for this. Finally, Scrumptious Dudley is disturbing me. Let's move on. Now it's time to bother my family, my authortube friends, and my patrons.
Hey mama, can you give me an adjective?
Happy.
All right, and can you give me a concept?
Freedom.
Thank you.
Happy freedom. Can you give me a sport and a name?
A sport would be soccer, and a name like a person,
Like
place,
a person.
or thing.
Like a person.
A person. Alfred E. Newman.
Perfect, thank you. And then I texted both of my brothers and my sister-in-law to see what they could give me. And now I present to you my family's version of The Princess Bride. Beautiful, periwinkle-haired Buttercup has fallen for Wesley, the flute boy. And when he departs to make his fortune, she vows never to love another. When she sniffs that his ship has been meandered by the dread pirate Roberts, who never leaves big businesses, her heart is broken, but her wails draw the attention of the relentless Prince Alfred E. Newman, who wants a wife and will go to any lengths to have Buttercup. So starts a fairy tale like no other of soccer, fighting, torture, poison, true freedom, hate, revenge, giants, hunters, happy men, jovial men, powerful ladies, snakes, spiders, beasts, chase, escapes, lies, truth, passion, and miracles. Personally, I like the fact that it's both happy men and jovial men. So the men are just gonna be happy in this story, and the ladies are powerful. I would read this. Somehow, I feel like this is still right up my alley. The flute boy is a little bit less interesting to me, a little bit less alluring than the farm boy. I'd love to see a movie version of that where it's, I guess he just plays the flute. In which case, maybe not as bad. I don't know, flute boy just sounds weird, okay? Now for this third one, the Fahrenheit 451 one, I'm actually gonna go to Hangouts and message some of my authortube buddies and see what sort of suggestions they can give me. Excuse me, I need help. All right, now that I have my suggestions for my authortube friends, I also actually brought this up on the live stream that Becca and I did the other day. I asked for suggestions over there. And now, may I present to you Fahrenheit 451, a Mad Lib. Guy Montag is a pastry chef. In his world where television rules and literature is on the brink of extinction, pastry chefs start puppies rather than put them out. What? His job is to follow the most sharp of commodities, the printed book, along with the houses in which they are hidden. Montag never questions the destruction and ruin his actions produce, dancing each day to his bland life and wife Mildred, who streaks all day with her television family. Yikes. But then he meets an eccentric young neighbor, Clarice, who introduces him to a long time ago where people did not live in fear, and to a present where one sees the world through the teacups and books instead of the mindless run of television. When Mildred attempts suicide and Clarice suddenly investigates, Montag begins to punch everything he has ever known. I think we should move on. Now I need to post over on Patreon to see what kind of things they'll recommend me. I needed a verb ending in ing, an adjective, a noun, a number, and a present tense verb. So I gave everyone like a day to respond. So I'm gonna go through all of these and kind of see what my options are and pick at random. And may I now present to you the epic conclusion to the Harry Potter saga. Harry Potter is falling Privet Drive for the last time. But as he climbs into the fish of Hagrid's motorbike and they take to the hoi polloi, he knows Lord Voldemort and the Death Eaters will not be far behind. The magnificent charm that has kept him safe until now is harsh, but the Dark Lord is breathing menageries into everything he reverberates, and he knows he can't keep medicating. To stop Voldemort, Harry knows he must find the remaining Horcruxes and destroy them. He will have to face his Russian nesting dolls in 5 decadent battles. Wow. What a turn from the first book. Starting with the Scrumptious Dudley and ending with 5 decadent battles. I mean, it really, in some ways, feels like it came full circle. This was such a fun experiment. It was so cool to kind of see the destruction of these blurbs of these books that I've really loved. Thank you to everyone who helped me fill out my Mad Libs game. It really does, for me, in some ways reinforce how much of a different skill set writing a blurb is, or doing kind of copywriting rather than novel writing potentially. I also recently saw that Lizelle posted a video going in depth on how her query letter got her an agent, which I think is another one of those skills that's obviously different from the blurb, but also is different from novel writing. So it's just interesting, all these different ways of writing to express yourself and explain your story that ultimately can be so important. Anyways, please do comment down below. Let me know if you've written a book, what your blurb looks like. How many times did you have to go over it in order to get the blurb just right? And same goes for the query letters. How many times did you write it again, and then write it another time after that? Did you ever feel like you got an aha moment, like this is it, this is exactly what I wanted it to be? Or was it just kind of like, well, this sort of tested the best with other people? I would be so curious to know. But that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you especially to some of my new patrons this month. Eliza, Danica Redfern, Becky Grenfell, and Monica Grabrowski, and I'll see y'all all very soon with a new video. Bye! To stop Voldemort, Harry knows he must find the... To stop Voldemort, he knows he... Wow. Whoop! And my personal copy, and the copy I have from, and the copy of Baron, whoop,